The Ravens and being true contenders in the NFL are about the same as me and my girlfriend. It's an idea that we like to make up because we want it to be real, but we know it's not and it might not ever be. But in 2024, the Ravens look a little different with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry now. So what is their outlook this season and come playoff time?
You know what I said?
Yeah.
I told you the Baltimore Ravens were the best team in the National Football League, even though they're 1-2.
After an 0-2 start, the Ravens sit at 4-2, beating the Commanders 30-23 on Sunday in one of the most anticipated matchups through 6 weeks of NFL action. The offense was clicking all game. Henry had 132 and 2 touchdowns. Zay Flowers had 132 receiving yards. Mark Andrews did something for you fantasy managers. Lamar had a good game as well, throwing for 323 and running for 40, while completing 77% of his passes. When the Ravens offense clicks like this, no team can stop them. But what is their winning formula? Simple. Utilize a two-headed backfield of Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson as much as you can. Henry currently leads the NFL in rushing yards, touchdowns, 5th in yards per carry, as the highest PFF grade for running backs. I'll go more into detail on Derrick in my video from 2 weeks ago. Lamar is doing similar things. 8th in rushing, 3rd in yards per carry, all while averaging the most passing yards per game of his career at 254.8. Lamar is also the 3rd-ranked passer in the league, with his highest PFF passing grade of his career at 84.8 and lowest turnover-worthy play at 0.9%. Yes, 0.9%. That is obviously leading the league. These two together form the best duo in the NFL, including any position duo you can think of. This double-sided spear is dangerous to every defense as it efficiently takes you down one defender, hell, or more, at a time. This is Lamar's best year in terms of not relying on the run, too. When he scrambles out and buys time in or out of the pocket, it's not just tuck and run. It's get out and look downfield. Past years, you can say that sometimes he looked to run when he should have looked down the field for an easy completion, but it simply has changed in 2024. Maybe it's another year under Todd Monken, but either way, he's learned a lot regarding keeping his eyes downfield instead of taking off with the ball and putting himself in danger. Now, a big reason why these two have succeeded so much, whether it's the run or the pass, is because of the offensive line and Pat Ricard. The O-line is 3rd in pass block grade and 5th in run block grade, and Ricard is this team's 6th offensive lineman. He already has 132 blocking snaps, 111 of them are on running plays. Baltimore's elite rushing attack is not possible without the biggest rarity in 2024's NFL, an elite fullback. If you're like me and you want to play some money on Derrick Henry or Lamar Jackson's hires, then you need to go to Underdog. Underdog is the best place to play fantasy sports. All you have to do is pick higher or lower on your favorite players' projections and win some money if you get all your picks right. You can up to 1,000 times your money in one night. If you use code FANATICS at signup, you can get a deposit match up to $1,000. Yes, a deposit match up to $1,000. You heard me right. And a free pick. Again, that is code FANATICS. Zay Flowers is also playing very well, especially the last 2 games. Over 100 yards and 7 catches each. Zay is a dynamic receiver who thrives in yak situations, as he's 5th in the NFL in total yak and 2nd in missed tackles forced. He's so elusive and quick, he fits so well with the other 2 dynamic playmakers, because they all make defenders miss at least one tackle when they get the ball. I've always liked Zay as a player, and seeing him going to this style offense is perfect for him, because Lamar and the Ravens don't necessarily rely on the passing game. He's not even top 25 in routes run, and he's still producing at a great level, at least as of late. Zay knows how to get open. He's 5th in target separation amongst wide receivers, and it's because his routes are fast, twitchy, and he knows how to use leverage in his lower body to take advantage of any defensive back in his way. He is the only good pass catcher on this team as of now, though, and that is for sure the Ravens' weakness. Mark Andrews has been bad outside of this past game. Isaiah Likely has been hit or miss, and it's safe to say Rashad Bateman is a bust first-round wide receiver. But Zay does his job and helps Lamar out a ton in the passing game when he scramble or find someone open on 3rd down. The thing that Zay does so well is his ability to stop, change direction, and when he catches the ball, immediately go the opposite way, spin, or whatever to gain extra yards. It is nearly impossible to stop him when he gets the ball, or hell, even on a route, because of his elite stop-and-go ability, as Mike Renner of CBS Sports said he would go top 5 in a 2023 redraft. While I disagree, he's that talented of a receiver that is only in his 2nd year. This offense is elite in every facet of the game. They are PFF's highest graded offense at 86.3, 3rd in points, 1 point under the 2 leaders tied at the top, 1st in yards, bottom 10 in turnovers. Genuinely, just an elite offense led by Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and Zay Flowers. However, their defense is a different story. While it grades well, they're 19th in yards allowed and 25th in points allowed. They have a top 2 rush defense in terms of yardage and the highest graded rush defense on PFF. But my god, their passing defense is just terrible. They get sacks, they're 4th in the league, but that secondary cannot stop a thing. A big part of this is losing defensive coordinator Mike Macdonald, who left to become the head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. He is one of the best defensive minds in football, next to Spags and Flores, and him leaving will change this defense no matter who the personnel is. Macdonald was a wizard when it came to disguising coverages, which we have seen with Brian Flores and the Minnesota Vikings this season, and how great it has worked for them. The ability to confuse a quarterback pre-snap by showing one coverage or blitz and it being a completely different play post-snap is an invaluable schematic tactic. New defensive coordinator Zach Orr just has straight-up coverages, no disguising. If it shows cover 4 pre-snap, it's cover 4 post-snap. This is his first season as a defensive coordinator. I think that throughout the year, he'll figure out ways to help this defense with its weaknesses, like Macdonald did, and honestly, just find a different scheme to go with, while still being as efficient against the run as they are. But besides coaching, they're not forcing turnovers. They only have 5 through 6 games, which is 25th in the league. While they're getting sacks, they're middle of the pack in pressure percentage. There also have been some communication issues from the secondary, like a busted cover 3 from Marlon Humphrey against Cincy, and in that same game, Nate Wiggins playing the sticks when he should have been elsewhere against Iasovis. There are just a bunch of small issues with this defense that lead to a bigger issue at hand, allowing big plays in the passing game. So the question comes, are the Ravens finally real contenders? I believe so. I think that this defense will figure out most of their issues, as like I said, some have just been communication stuff, and Orr is inexperienced. He'll figure out what he needs to do better as a defensive coordinator, and being under Macdonald for those 2 years, he knows what he needs to do. No defense in the playoffs will be able to stop this Baltimore offense. We've seen Derrick Henry carry a team to an AFC Championship run all by himself, defeating Lamar in the process, so we know that he can do it. We just have to see if Lamar Jackson can finally get over the hump. Oh, and also, not deferring from your greatest strength, running the ball and passing 37 times compared to 16 rushes in the AFC Championship game versus Kansas City would help. I don't know, Todd Monken, just some food for thought. And with all that being said, that is it for me, guys. Thank you for tuning into Fanatic Sports. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. All support is very much appreciated. Helps me out more than you know. Also, follow me on Instagram at FanaticSports25 and on TikTok and X at Fanatic Sports. This is Joe of Fanatic Sports, signing off.